Hey there, welcome back. It's so nice to see you again in our calm little space of stories and soft dreams. Here we share relaxing tales to slow your heart and ease your mind. If you love peaceful nights and gentle words, don't forget to subscribe and stay close. There's always another story waiting for you. The Slow Tide, a healing fiction novel. Chapter 6. Returning Calls. Maya woke on her 12th morning in Thornberry Bay to the realization that she couldn't put it off any longer. The phone in the drawer had been silent for nearly a week. Not because people had stopped calling, but because she'd stopped listening. But avoidance wasn't the same as resolution. Sooner or later, she had to face the life she'd left behind, even if only to tell it goodbye. She made coffee first, Dutch courage in ceramic form. Then she sat at the small table, the ocean stretching endlessly beyond her window, and retrieved the phone from its exile. The screen came to life reluctantly, as if it too had been enjoying the peace and quiet. Notifications flooded in. 53 text messages, 31 missed calls, over 400 emails. The sheer volume of it made Maya's chest tighten, that old familiar anxiety rising like muscle memory. But this time she noticed it, observed it without being consumed by it. This is fear, she thought. This is the part of me that's afraid of disappointing people. Doesn't have to control me. Dr. Chen would have been proud. Maya scrolled through the messages, categorizing them mentally. Work colleagues wondering about transitions and timelines. Her mother, hurt and worried in turns. Friends, or people she'd called friends, who missed her at networking events. And Marcus. Her ex. 13 messages across 2 weeks, evolving from concern to confusion to something sharper. The most recent one from 2 days ago. I don't understand what you're doing, Maya. This isn't like you. Call me, please. But that was the thing, wasn't it? This was exactly like her. The real her, buried under years of performance and productivity. Marcus had never known that person, had never wanted to know her. He'd fallen in love with senior creative director Maya Torres, the woman who had her life figured out, who made things happen, who never hesitated or questioned or broke down crying on bathroom floors at 3 a.m. Maya took a sip of coffee and typed, "I'm sorry I worried you. I'm okay. I need space to figure some things out. Please respect that." Before she could second-guess herself, she hit send. Then she blocked his number. Not out of anger, but out of necessity. She couldn't heal while someone kept pulling her back toward the person she was trying to leave behind. Her mother was harder. Maya stared at the most recent message. "Sweetheart, I just want to understand. Please talk to me," and felt the old guilt rise. Her mother, who'd worked 2 jobs to put Maya through design school, who'd been so proud at every promotion, every achievement, every step up the corporate ladder. How could Maya explain that all of that success had felt like slowly drowning? She couldn't. Not in a text message. Maybe not ever. Instead she wrote, "Mom, I love you. I'm safe and I'm okay. I needed to step away from work for my mental health. I'm sorry I worried you. Can we talk next week? I'm not ready yet, but I will be soon. Please trust me. Send." The work emails she archived without reading. Whatever crises existed would have been resolved by now. Or they wouldn't, and either way, they weren't her responsibility anymore. That felt simultaneously liberating and terrifying. The knowledge that the world had continued without her, that she wasn't as indispensable as she'd believed. There was one email she opened, though. From Priya, sent yesterday. Mia, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You'll figure that out on your own. But I want you to know something. I've watched you killing yourself for this company for 7 years. You were brilliant and dedicated, and you gave everything you had, and it was never enough. Not because you weren't good enough, you were always more than good enough, but because the system is designed to consume people like you. I hope wherever you are, you're learning that your worth isn't measured in deliverables. That you're valuable because you exist, not because you're useful. Come back if you want. Stay away if you need to. I'll love you either way. Maya read it 3 times, tears streaming down her face. This was what real friendship looked like. Not networking. Not mutual benefit. Just one person seeing another person clearly and loving them anyway. She wrote back, "Thank you for seeing me, for not trying to fix me or convince me or make me feel bad about my choices. You're right, I am learning that. Slowly. It's harder than I thought. Miss you. Love you. Call soon." After she sent it, Maya set the phone down and cried properly. Not the panicked tears of breakdown, but the cleansing tears of release. She was grieving, she realized. Grieving the life she'd thought she wanted, the person she'd tried so hard to be, the future she'd imagined that would never exist now. Grief was appropriate. Grief was necessary. But underneath it, like bedrock beneath soil, was something else. Relief. The vast, breathtaking relief of putting down a burden she'd carried for so long she'd forgotten it was a burden at all. She spent the morning painting, letting the emotions flow through her brush onto canvas. This one was darker than the others. Deep blues and grays, slashes of white where light broke through. It looked like drowning and surfacing at once. Like the moment between gasping for air and finally breathing. When Helen knocked around noon with sandwiches, she found Maya paint-splattered and red-eyed but somehow more present than she'd been since arriving. "You turned your phone back on," Helen observed, setting the tray down. "How did you know?" "Because you look like someone who's been to battle and survived." Helen poured tea from a thermos into 2 cups. "Want to talk about it?" Maya wiped her hands and joined her at the table. The sandwich was simple, turkey and cheese on homemade bread, but it tasted like comfort. They ate in silence for a while, watching a fishing boat make its slow way across the horizon. "I broke up with my boyfriend," Maya said finally. "Technically, we were already broken up, but I made it official. Blocked his number." "How do you feel?" "Sad. Guilty. But also lighter. We weren't right for each other. I think I always knew that. But he looked good on paper, and my life looked good on paper, and I thought that was enough." "It never is." Helen sipped her tea. "Frank and I looked terrible on paper. I was a nurse. He was a dreamer who wanted to run a bed and breakfast. My parents thought he was irresponsible. His parents thought I was settling. But we loved each other. Really loved each other. Not the idea of each other, but the actual messy reality. I don't know if Marcus ever loved the real me. I'm not sure I ever showed him the real me. Then maybe this is a gift. A chance to figure out who the real you is before you try to share her with anyone else. Maya thought about Daniel on the beach, the easy conversation, the way he'd asked questions that made her think rather than defend. She barely knew him, but something about his presence had felt different. Comfortable. Real. There's a guy, Maya heard herself say. I met him at the tide pools. Daniel. He works at the marine sanctuary. Helen's smile was knowing. Daniel's good people. Came here broken like the rest of us. Put himself back together slowly. He's patient, kind, complicated in good ways. I'm not ready for anything. I need to figure out my own life first. Of course. But it's worth noting that you can do both. Figure yourself out and also be open to connection. They're not mutually exclusive. Helen stood, gathering the empty plates. Just don't close yourself off completely. Healing doesn't mean isolating. Sometimes it means learning to be vulnerable in healthier ways. After she left, Maya returned to her painting. But Helen's words lingered. Was she isolating? She'd been here almost 2 weeks and had only really connected with a handful of people. Sienna, Helen, Tom, Daniel. In San Francisco, her calendar had been full of social obligations, networking dinners, drinks with colleagues. But had any of that been real connection? Or just performance? Here she had fewer relationships but deeper ones. People who saw her without her accomplishments, without her title, without her carefully curated persona. They saw Maya, uncertain and messy and becoming, and they liked her anyway. That mattered more than she'd realized. That afternoon she walked into town, drawn by the need to move, to be among people. The kettle was busy with the lunch crowd. Locals mostly, faces she was starting to recognize. Ruth waved her toward an empty booth, and Maya slid in gratefully. Haven't seen you in a few days, Ruth said, setting down water. We were starting to worry you'd left without saying goodbye. Still here. Just been processing. That's good. Processing is good. Ruth pulled out her order pad. Soup today is chicken noodle. Actual homemade noodles, not the packaged stuff. And we've got a special on the fish tacos if you're feeling adventurous. Soup sounds perfect. As Ruth disappeared toward the kitchen, Maya noticed Daniel sitting at the counter, reading a book and eating what looked like a tuna melt. He glanced up, caught her eye and smiled. Not a flirtatious smile, just a genuine expression of recognition. After a moment's hesitation, he stood and walked over. Mind if I join you? I'm at the stage of lunch where I'm just reading to avoid going back to work, and I'd rather have actual conversation. Please. Maya gestured to the seat across from her. Daniel slid in, bringing his book and plate with him. Up close, she noticed details she'd missed on the beach. The laugh lines around his eyes, the small scar on his chin, the way his sweater was worn at the elbows. He looked lived in, comfortable in his own skin in a way that suggested hard-won peace rather than easy confidence. How's the nothing going? He asked, echoing his question from the beach. I'm getting better at it. Though I'm starting to realize it's not really nothing. Just different things. Slower things. Like painting. How did you know about that? Small town. Sienna mentioned you bought supplies. And I can see paint under your fingernails. He smiled. What are you painting? Maya looked down at her hands, at the traces of blue and gray still visible despite scrubbing. I'm not sure yet. Emotions, maybe. The ocean. Myself. It's all kind of abstract and messy. That sounds perfect. It's technically terrible. But is it true? Daniel asked. That's the only thing that matters with art, I think. Not whether it's good by some external standard, but whether it's honest. Maya thought about her corporate work. Beautiful, polished, strategically perfect, and emotionally empty. Then she thought about her recent paintings. Clumsy, unrefined, but somehow capturing something real about her interior landscape. It's true, she admitted. That's the terrifying part. I'm painting myself onto canvas, and anyone who sees it will know exactly how lost and uncertain I am. Or they'll see someone brave enough to be lost and uncertain out loud. That's not weakness, Maya. That's courage. Ruth arrived with Maya's soup, and they talked while she ate. Easy conversation that ranged from marine biology to the latest town gossip to books they'd both loved. Daniel was well-read, thoughtful, willing to explore ideas without needing to win arguments or prove himself right. He asked questions and actually listened to her answers instead of just waiting for his turn to talk. It reminded Maya of how starved she'd been for real conversation. In her old life, every interaction had been transactional. Networking, mentoring, being mentored, building relationships that served career purposes. Even with Marcus, conversation had often felt performative, both of them presenting their best selves rather than their real ones. This was different. This was two people, imperfect and healing, just talking. No agenda, no performance, just presence. Can I ask you something? Daniel said as Ruth cleared their plates. Sure. Why did you really come here? I know you said burnout, but that's the surface answer. What was the moment? The thing that finally made you leave? Maya was quiet for a long time, watching through the window as the afternoon light painted golden stripes across the street. I woke up one morning and couldn't remember the last time I'd felt anything real. Joy, sadness, anger, love, it was all just muted, like I was watching my life through glass. And I realized I'd traded feeling for achieving, and the trade wasn't worth it. Are you feeling things now? Too many things. It's overwhelming. But it's real. She met his eyes. I cried this morning. Actually cried, not just teared up. And it hurt, but it also felt like being alive again. Good, Daniel said softly. Numbness pretends to protect us, but really it just slowly kills us. Better to feel too much than too little. They sat in companionable silence, the diner noise washing over them, the clink of silverware, Ruth's laughter at something a customer said, the hiss of the grill. Ordinary sounds of ordinary life. Nothing extraordinary. Nothing Instagram-worthy. But sitting there with Daniel, feeling the weight of real conversation, the comfort of being seen, Maya thought this might be what happiness actually looked like. Not constant joy or dramatic highs, but simple, quiet contentment. Being present, being real, being enough just as she was. "I should get back," Daniel said eventually. "I'm supposed to give a tour to a school group at 2, and I need to make sure the touch tank is ready." He stood, then hesitated. "Would you want to visit the sanctuary sometime? Not as a date. I know you said you're not ready for anything." "Think you'd like it. Watching the animals live their lives without trying to be anything other than what they are. It's oddly therapeutic." "I'd like that," Maya said, surprising herself with how much she meant it. "Good. How about Saturday afternoon? I'll give you the unofficial tour. The one where I explain what the animals are actually thinking, not the educational script." After he left, Maya sat in the booth for a while longer, nursing a cup of coffee. She felt something unfamiliar stirring in her chest. Not romantic attraction exactly, though there was an element of that, but more like recognition, like she'd found someone who spoke her language, who understood the particular kind of brokenness that came from giving too much of yourself to the wrong things. She wasn't ready for anything serious. Might not be ready for a long time. But maybe Helen was right. Maybe healing didn't mean closing herself off completely. Maybe it meant being open to connection while also being honest about her capacity. Maybe it meant being brave enough to say, "I'm broken and becoming," and trusting that the right people would understand. That evening, Maya stood at her window with a glass of wine Helen had surprised her with. "Sometimes healing requires good Cabernet," she'd said, and watched the sun set. The sky performed its nightly miracle, colors bleeding across the horizon in impossible gradients. She thought about the phone calls she'd made, the bridges she'd burned, the future she'd released. It felt like standing at a cliff edge, terrifying and exhilarating in equal measure. She'd let go of the life she'd built, and now she was in freefall, not knowing where she'd land. But for the first time, the freefall didn't feel like falling, felt like flying. Her phone buzzed. A text from Priya. "Proud of you. Whatever you decide. Love you." Maya smiled and typed back, "Love you too. Thank you for not trying to save me. For trusting me to save myself." She set the phone down and picked up a brush, mixing colors on her palette by instinct rather than plan. The canvas in front of her was fresh, blank, full of possibility. She didn't know what she would paint. Didn't need to know. She just needed to begin. Outside, the ocean whispered its eternal rhythm. Inside, Maya touched brush to canvas and let something new emerge. Messy, honest, live.